I've had a tough time figuring out or determining who I think is going to win this series. Going into the finals, going into the playoffs, I said that Boston was the best team. I said that Boston, in my opinion, had the best shot to ultimately win it. And as we sit here today, Boston, as much as, we talk about the road and how easy it was, Boston has not shown anything to make me think that opinion is wrong. But on top of that, or moreover, I would say, neither is Dallas. I obviously didn't think Dallas was the best team going into the Western Conference playoffs, but Dallas has overcome things that I didn't think they were able to overcome. And Kyrie is playing at a level that I didn't think that he was still able to get to. Luka is playing at a level, especially defensively. Now, when you do see Luka play defense, that's kind of a misnomer. Look at the back line. Look how many people are playing in help. But Luka is still playing decent on-ball defense. So I've kind of had a tug of war in my brain and my heart about who I have winning the championship. Let me give you a deep dive into some of my thoughts about and how difficult it's been for me to pick a winner. Obviously, there's a bit of recency bias. And when we look recently, the stars for Dallas have looked much better than the stars as a duo for Boston. Luka and Kyrie has looked better than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. While they've all looked good, I would pick the duo, Dallas's duo, right now over Boston's duo, just because of how good they've played. Doesn't mean that it's so far off, but that's just what I would pick. And then I'm thinking, okay, what do both teams look like at their best? And in my opinion, Boston looks like the clear-cut better team at their best. When you have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford, all hitting their shots and playing defense, there is not a team in basketball that should be able to beat them. On the flip side, when you have Luka Doncic hitting crazy, damn near half-court shots, when you have Kyrie Irving slicing up the defense, when you have Derek Lively getting much timed, perfectly timed alley-oops, when you have Daniel Gafford playing defense and getting lobs, when you have PJ Washington hitting shots, when you have Tim Hardaway Jr. hitting shots, that team is almost unstoppable offensively. And the thing that I do know about both of these teams is their offense kind of dictates their defense. When their offense is firing on all cylinders, their defense is humming. When their offense is not firing on all cylinders, their defense can be a little shaky. And that gets to my other point. It's as dominant as they've been. I've seen Dallas at their, not Dallas. I've seen Boston at their worst. And what their worst is when they're not hitting threes. Boston relies so heavily on threes that the two games that they lost, and honestly, if we're being completely honest, they should have lost to the Pacers. The Pacers gave, 2-3 games away? They gave 3 games away in the final moments of the game. The Pacers should be the team that we're talking about. Now, obviously, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But still, when Boston does not hit their shots, they look night and day different than how good they can be. And vice versa, on the flip side, when Dallas does not hit their shots, they still rely on their defense. They still rely on their rim protection. They still rely on their presence. Something that I didn't think we would be able to say about a about a Kyrie and Luka led team. And the last thing that I've been wrestling with is Kristaps Porzingis. I think it's very tough to have a hamstring injury and you miss pretty much the entire playoffs, and the first game that you play is in the NBA Finals against a team that will run you out the gym. That's another thing. The Dallas runs, and you're going to play while you are a better player than PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. They've been playing longer, and they're going to test that hamstring. And I just think that it's tough. It's tough having to deal with that type of athleticism and that type of speed when you haven't played since like the first game of the first round, or maybe even not played in the playoffs at all. So let me stop beating around the bush. Who do I have winning the finals? As much as I'll be real with you guys. There's a part of me that would love to see. Actually, there's a large part of me that would love to see Dallas win the finals, because everything that went on with Kyrie, and I just don't want. I just don't want success from Boston. Me being a Washington native and born and raised in Washington, and understanding how some of those games win, and it's just hard for me to root for Boston. So there's a large part of me that definitely wants Dallas to win. But I'm going to pick Boston to win. I think Boston is a better team. I think that Boston has shown, not just this playoffs, but the entire season, that when they're hitting in all cylinders, they are unstoppable this year. I think that the finals losses and Eastern Conference Finals losses have built them to get to this point. And I'm not one to question or dictate legacy while you're still playing or with a game or series, but I do think that this is a huge legacy series for Jason Tatum and for Jaylen Brown. I think that the legacy, if they lose or not, I think the legacy is cemented for Kyrie. He's one of the greatest point guards we've ever seen. Arguably has the best handles of all time. NBA champion, hit the biggest shot arguably in NBA Finals history. That's cemented. Luka Doncic, I think he has several years to try to keep this going. And I think Boston does as well. But the fact of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown keep getting there and keep losing, I think that's going to continue to hurt them. I think that Boston is a better team. I think that Kristaps Porzingis, he might be rusty the first game or two, but I think that once he gets back to 100%, he's going to be a force. I think that Al Horford, as much as I hate watching Al Horford play, Al Horford is a smart player. Derek White is having a great run. As much as it hates for me to say it, I have Boston winning in 6. I think Boston's going to win in 6. And I have Jason Tatum as the Finals MVP. I think Jason Tatum is going to be the best player, or has to be the best player in the Finals, for them to win it all. So I have Boston in 6. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.